Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into the dark ambition and, frankly, the terrifying moral void at the heart of Woody Allen's psychological thriller Match Point. We're going to break down how one man's hunger for status, when mixed with a little bit of random chance, can send him down a path he can never, ever come back from.
This single question is pretty much the engine of the entire film. It is the big idea that drives every single decision, every shocking twist. So I want you to let that question just sit in the back of your mind as we unpack this whole story.
All right, so our story kicks off with Chris Wilton. He's a recently retired pro tennis player. But you know what? His ambitions are way, way bigger than the tennis court. He has his eyes on a much, much bigger prize.
So, he gets this job as a tennis instructor at a super exclusive, upscale London club. But let's be real, this isn't about teaching tennis. It's all about getting access. He almost immediately becomes buddies with a wealthy member named Tom Hewitt. And that connection, well, that's the key that's going to unlock everything for him.
Now, what's so fascinating here is just how calculated Chris's climb is. This isn't an accident. It's a clear step-by-step plan. First, he befriends his son, Tom. Next, he starts dating Tom's sister, Chloe, who is just completely head over heels for him. He parlays that into a corporate gig at her dad's company and, well, the final step? Marry his way into the Hewitt family's massive fortune and status.
But just as Chris's perfectly crafted plan is all falling into place, he meets someone. Someone who threatens to burn the whole thing right to the ground.
Her name is Nola Rice. She's a struggling American actress, and in a really terrible twist of fate, she happens to be engaged to Chris's new best friend, Tom. The second they lay eyes on each other, the attraction is just boom. It's immediate, it's electric, and you know right away it's incredibly dangerous.
And this scene right here, wow, this is the point of no return. They're all out at the family's country house. A thunderstorm rolls in, and Nola runs out into the rain. Chris follows her, and right there, in that rain-soaked wheat field, they give in. This is the exact moment the secret is born, the one that will eventually tear everything apart.
So here's the crucial part. They both see this moment completely differently. For Nola, it was a huge mistake, something she wants to put behind her. But Chris? Oh, he's completely obsessed. He wants this to be an ongoing thing, and that right there sets up this devastating conflict between the life he wants and the life he's built.
So what does Chris do? He goes ahead and marries Chloe, locking down his position in the family. But he absolutely cannot let Nola go, and this pulls him deeper and deeper into a world of lies and secrets.
I mean, just look at the contrast here. It's so stark. On one hand, you've got his life with Chloe. It's everything he ever thought he wanted. Wealth, a career, status, it's a life of total comfort. But on the other hand, you have Nola. And with her, he has what he really desires, that raw, uncontrollable passion. He's literally trapped between these two worlds, trying to have it all. And then, just as he's kind of getting used to juggling all this, a single complication comes along and just changes the entire game. After they start up their affair again, Nola tells them she's pregnant with his child.
Nola is she's done. She's done waiting around in the shadows. She gives Chris a final ultimatum. You need to divorce Chloe and be with me and our baby, or I am going to expose this whole thing and bring your perfect little world crashing down around you. So, with his back against the wall, faced with losing every single thing he's worked for, Chris makes a chilling and desperate decision. He comes up with a plan that he believes is absolutely foolproof.
I mean, this plan is just as cold-blooded as it is methodical. It's a horrific, step-by-step sequence designed not just to get rid of Nola and their unborn child, but to create a totally false story, a random burglary gone wrong that points the police anywhere but at him.
And at first, the crazy thing is, it seems to have worked perfectly. Scotland Yard completely buys the story, hook, line, and sinker. It really looks like Chris's horrifying gamble is actually going to pay off.
But you know how these things go. The past rarely stays buried for long. The truth starts to claw its way out, and Chris's perfect crime begins to come apart at the seams.
And here it is, the first major crack in his story. The detectives find Nola's diary, and what's inside? Oh, just every single detail about their affair. All of a sudden, this supposedly random crime has a very, very clear motive, and Chris Wilton is now their prime person of interest.
So, the pressure is mounting, and he is starting to crack. He's haunted by what he's done, even seeing apparitions of Nola and her murdered neighbor. The ghost of Nola actually taunts him, mocking how clumsy his plan was and telling him that he's going to get caught.
But then, just as his whole world is about to collapse, a series of unbelievably improbable events, we're talking pure dumb luck, completely changes his fate. He's throwing the stolen jewelry into the river, but the victim's wedding ring hits the railing and bounces back onto the pavement. Later, a detective is totally convinced Chris is the killer, but his theory gets shot down when that exact same ring is found in the pocket of a murdered drug addict. The police think the addict was the killer. For Chris, it's just an absolutely insane one-in-a-million twist of fortune.
And just like that, he gets away with it. His new life, his wealth, his family, it's all safe. Not because he was smart, not because his plan was perfect, but because of sheer, unadulterated chance.
Months go by. Chris is standing over his newborn son's crib with his wife, Chloe. His brother-in-law, Tom, comes in, looks at the baby, and says he hopes the boy isn't great, but lucky. And that final line is just chilling. It hammers home the film's really cynical message. In this world, being good might not matter at all if you don't have a bit of luck on your side. Which brings us right back to where we started. Matchpoint doesn't give us any kind of comforting answer. Instead, it leaves us with this really disturbing thought, that maybe justice, morality, and consequences can all be completely wiped away by something as random and as meaningless as the bounce of a ring.